Hi guys, and welcome back to a very sad episode of Fine Foods Food Review, the show for food lovers and eaters alike, because today is the final ever episode. Psych, it's not. It's just the season 2 finale, the last episode of Fine Foods Food Review season 2. So, I thought to celebrate, I'd be not reviewing one food, not 2 foods, not 3 foods, but in fact 4 whole foods. So before I do that, I just want to say a very special thank you to all my friends, family, fans and supporters who've got me to the point where I am now. I started off Fine Foods just recording me eating on my iPhone 3, and now I've got an entire studio set up, so that's really good, and I couldn't have done it without all of you. So without further ado, let's get right on to the eating bit of this whole video. So what I've got for the first food is some Nongshim Big Bowl Tempura Udon Flavor Noodle Soup. And it looks like this, and let's see if it tastes like it looks and like it smells. Okay, so that noodle part was really good, but what I've actually noticed from taking a little peek inside the bowl is that there's actually some bits of tempura, and now I'm going to fish one of these out. Here's what the tempura looks like, and I'm gonna have a little bite of this and see how it tastes. Okay, so that was a very nice flavour. I'm not entirely sure what it was, some sort of seafood perhaps. I think it tasted really nice and it adds something to the dish. However, I would say that if you're having tempura in a ramen dish, ramen being Chinese for soup, then it's going to get quite soggy, and that's what happened here today. And I think the texture is really dwindling a little bit just because of how it has saturated. So I'm going to move on from that. I'm going to go on to our next dish, which is a little traditional English crisp or chip if you're from the West. This is called Space Raiders, and I'm not sure why they're raiding space, because if you can see here, they're aliens, and of course aliens own space, so I'm not entirely sure why they're raiding their own property, but I guess that's a question for the people who own Space Raiders. Maybe we can ask them that. If anyone has the email address for the people who own Space Raiders, I'd really appreciate it if you could give it to me just so I could answer that question. But all prejudice aside, I'm going to dig into this little bag of Space Raiders now. So this is what they look like. They look like little alien heads. And at first I felt a little bit guilty about eating these because they're incredibly lifelike, and I don't know if you know, but I'm a vegan, so if you eat living things, then that's not vegan. So I'm a bit skeptical about this, but I think for the sake of the review, I'm going to try it. So here it goes. Okay, so immediately that crisp just fell apart in my mouth and dissolved into a very fine congealed powder, And right off the bat, we had a very intense, meaty flavour, and some good textures in there. If I was going to criticise this without any bias, I would say maybe it would be nice if the structural integrity was a little higher, so that the crisp could stay in my mouth a bit longer, because I think that crisp had a half-life of about 2 seconds, and usually I like to chew my food for at least 20. So that's good. I'm going to move on now to our third item of food, and we have a traditional Southern Asian classic, which is called Hello Panda, or if you are from Asia, it's Hello Panda. So, if I'm right, this is a chocolate, but a chocolate with a twist, because it has a sort of brown casing. I'm not sure what that is, but the only way to find out is to eat it. So that's what I'm going to do. So this is the first time I've opened the box. It opens very nicely, and we have another little bag inside the box. And you might be thinking that's a bit environmentally unfriendly, but you're not right, because if you put a bag inside a box, then it's better, because the cardboard from the box counteracts the plastic from the bag. So if you put your bag in a box, then you're actually saving the planet. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to eat one of these right now. And thank you. Okay, so that's an incredibly interesting flavour profile. I think the chocolate is slightly masked behind what I think is a biscuit shell, but I think all in all the flavours combine very nicely to have a wholesome, wholehearted, whole-tasting experience.
Oh, I think they like, yeah they like. Diamonds on me, ice cream. Oh, that's light. My Draco bitch is fighting.
Okay, so Dean is here to try the food that I've just eaten, because he's from the culture in which these are made. So I'm going to present him one of these in the traditional way, which is where you take one, you present it, and then you put it in the mouth. And then you close the mouth for them, and then they swallow it. So that is the traditional way on how to eat Hello Panda. And now Dinu is going to tell us how it tastes.
Excellent.
Okay, so that's an excellent out of 10 from Dean. And now we're going to go on for our final food, which I should say is not a food, it's in fact a drink. And this isn't a traditional drink that I would normally have, but I thought we would reminisce towards Fine Food Season 1, in which I would usually follow up a food with a drink to wash it down. So what we have here is some traditional Great Britain Burton-on-Trent Carling Original Lager. You can get one of these for $4.75, and it comes with a very nice holder so that you never drop it when you're drinking it.
It's for your keyring.
I've just had a source come in say it's for my keyring. So if I were to have my keys on me, which I don't, I could attach this to my keys, and then when I was going into my house, I would unlock the door and I would see, look, there's some beer that I didn't drink, and now I can. So that's a really good feature, and I think Carling Original Cider Burton-on-Trent, Great Britain, are going to be getting some bonus points for that innovative feature. So let's go ahead and open up this can. And now it's time for me to drink it.
How's your mouth?
Good. Okay, so that was a very nice flavour. I think in terms of carbon dioxide content, I think they might have slightly overdone it, because I definitely noticed that it burnt in my chest quite a bit, and I think it sort of had a very intense build-up of gas in my system, which has maybe detracted from the whole drinking experience. Though maybe I'm just thinking that maybe you're not meant to sip on it out of the can, but maybe pour it into little shot glasses and have it like that, so you don't have an overdose or a surplus of carbon dioxide. So I think that was a quite nice drink. I would say have it within moderation, because if you drink too much at once, it can hurt your chest a little bit, but as long as you take short breaks in between your sips, there's not going to be any negative side effects. So going on to a whole review, I would say that the Nongshim Tempura Udon Flavor Noodle Soup gets a 7 out of 10. I would say that the Space Raiders get a 2 out of 10. Not because they didn't taste good, but because the logic behind aliens raiding their own turf or their territory is completely benign to me. It's completely illogical, and I just don't think it works with the entire concept of a snack. I think that the Hello Panda gets a 5 out of 10. But I think actually it gets a 10 out of 10 because I think we've learned a lot today about cultural etiquette when it comes to eating this delicacy. And finally, the Carling beer gets, I think, maybe 12 out of 10 because does it taste good? No. And does it feel good inside you? No, but I think after I have about 6 of these, I start feeling actually very positive about myself. And I think if you drink enough of this, you can actually start to have some very positive side effects. So that's why Carling gets a 15 out of 10. And so it's with a heavy heart that I say goodbye to Fine Foods Food Review Season 2. And I'd also like to thank all of the people who are around me today who've been watching over me, making sure that I'm not in any trouble while I'm filming this, while I'm eating, while I'm divulging.
Follow me, DAV_MCE. Follow me.
So, it's goodbye to this season. And don't forget to like this video, to dislike this video, to share it, to comment, to Google Plus,
Kick,
to subscribe to my channel, the Fine Foods channel.
BBM.
Don't forget to put it on your WhatsApp and on your Snapchat, and also
follow me on Reddit. It's Maple/Dick.
And follow Maple Dick on Reddit. And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye. And goodbye from my friends.
Monster gang.
Totally ruined.
See, why wouldn't you?
Stop dragging the camera into my eye. Get away from it.
Oh my god, there's a ghost. Get my house in fucking Gary, bitch. God!
You look so bored. What's the
I would like to model this on my own.
Ah!
Dog! God, stop! Into the turkey!
What's going on here?
Dad's had a drink again, isn't he? I make bitches moist. I make bitches moist, moist. I make bitches moist. Moist.
See this?
Moist.
Is a Naruto Haki.
Moist.
After the famous
Sit down.
cartoon character Naruto, and they made a food about him because when basically okay, so when China invaded Japan, they brought over these like cartoons with them, and one of them was called Naruto, and Naruto's got a little a spiral like this on his nose, and so the Japanese were like super like into it.
Is this what dancing is?
Yes.
So they're like, you know what? Let's make a food about this guy, and it's like, and look, all right, if I do this, oh, we got that little piece of seaweed.
Don't worry about it. Probably best if I
Fuck. Look, I look. Fuck.
Nice.
I look exactly like Naruto, and that's why they did it.
That's my favourite bit.
Do you think let's delete this? It's been.
I wouldn't.
Do you guys clean your floor?
We got clean today, I'd clean.
Oh, sick.